Hey Bam, so I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the New York Giants team. You let us know what you're thinking about that, bro, and how you can see that translating with us.
Yeah. So, sorry if my connection's a little bad. I see it's like lagging some. But so I guess the first thing that I think of whenever I try and draw a compare, like if I try and picture what our team is going to be like as a power run team with a pretty efficient quarterback who targets a lot of stuff in the mid range or at least downfield. I really think of, like the 2005 to 2010 New York Giants with Eli Manning and Brandon Jacobs running like kind of a power scheme and then really attacking the mid range of the field. Right. So like, I'm going to ask you guys, what's the first receiver that comes to mind that was on that team?
David Tyree.
Plexico
Burris, yeah. It's another one. Not awesome. Not Hughes Manzada, but the other one that was like,
they had Akeem Hicks. They had Akeem Hicks, right?
Yeah. They had a couple more.
Then they had Cruz, right?
No, they didn't have Cruz, right?
He was later.
That's later.
So
that's like 2016.
My point is they did it with a lot of like they did it with a lot of dudes who would have
mid-tier.
Yeah. A lot of like second string receivers, basically, right?
Right.
And then who was their tight end?
Shockey, right?
Shockey. Jeremy Shockey.
It was. Oh my! Shockey was cold, brother.
What was Jeremy Shockey's big identity?
He was catching the ball, though. He was catching the ball. He was blocking too, though, but he was catching the ball.
He was doing a pretty good job blocking, but he's getting open.
Yeah, he was catching that ball, bro. He had some of the best hands in the league at the time, bro. Any given area, that was a good tight end.
Dude, we always saw Brevin Jordan in these just wide open spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding these spaces.
They forget about Brevin all the time. Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, is it just that I feel like it's almost like an uncanny resemblance of what the Texans could end up being, right?
Yeah. Especially as a floor, like looking at, even quarterback to quarterback, expectation-wise, it wasn't until the Super Bowl win when expectations started to settle in for Eli. So, I can see that. Yeah, I can see there even resemblance there. Like just controlling the game, management, like you said, that's crazy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and I'm not saying that I'm saying this to save us from getting a YouTube comment. I'm not saying that that Davis Mills is Eli Manning, right?
No.
But you know what I'm saying?
But honestly, someone may not even care. There are not many people like Eli.
Eli's not a highly favored person.
Yeah, he's not highly favored, even in the city.
It's cool to see kind of how they constructed their team. It's power running back with a good complementary back, a good pass catching tight end. And then just pretty good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that were all reliable. I mean, one of the NFL's most famous catches have come from the Giants.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Two of them most. Yeah, absolutely.
That's my point. And so receivers are receivers once you kind of get down to it, right? And they need to be pretty good, and you need to have a bunch of different types of them, right? And I feel like
and multiple, even multiple of the same. You can even argue because I can't remember all. I'm gonna look it up.
Mario Manningham.
Yeah, Manningham played with the guy who was almost the same archetype, and they would just swap out back and forth. And that was like one playoff. They were just. They was routing motherfuckers up. Excuse my French, but they were just giving it to them.
I remember going against the Giants in that era and just thinking that every one of their players were bigger than ours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They really had this mammoth offensive line, right? Like they were built huge. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. That's the team I think of when I would I'm aspiring the Texans to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that type of game translates in today's game. I feel like, I know people, it's not the flashing. I think a lot of fans get caught up in the style points, the amount of points, the flashy type plays, the trick plays. They get caught up in all of that glitz and glamour. But on the surface, if you're able to play like the Giants played, it'll still be effective and work and be productive in today's game.
Can I add to that, AD? Because it's 2 points I want to say. I'm going to give you the example of the Bengals, right? They were winning by very small margins in the back end of quarters to make it to the Super Bowl. That was exciting to watch, too. Oftentimes we get so – I'll tell you something, man. Like, we get so, I guess, encompassed with the idea that, hey, we have to throw the ball, 50 times a game, put up 30, 40 plus points. But every Super Bowl I've ever watched that people have got on Twitter and said this is boring have been blowouts. You know what I mean? It's like everyone, when it's a close game and it's a tight game, it's almost by design because I remember now as I'm thinking, I'm a conspiracy guy, so I get the rolling off. It's almost crazy that two high-powered offenses completely just went run the whole Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like they know it's a better form of like football to watch is to keep the game close, keep it tight, win the fourth quarter. But either way, the point is that it's exciting football still. And I think that we get like, this convoluted idea that, it should just be, over the roof, top numbers. We have to have Patrick Mahomes.
You know what example I want to use is that when Steph Curry came into the NBA and he lit the league on fire with 3-pointers and he changed the way that people perceived the NBA. And what was more entertaining to watch was the 3-pointer. And I look at the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. When they came in with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and they had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and all of them on that squad, that high-powering, scoring, big play offense and they won the Super Bowl that year and they lit the league on fire. Not everybody's trying to be like, the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody wants their team to play like them. Everybody wants that high-powered offense, just like in the NBA. Everybody wants that 3-point shooter. Everybody's trying to find the next Stephen Curry that can shoot threes from half court and beyond or whatever, and just make the game
AD, they handed out slot receiver 4 threes like a motherfucker nowadays, right? Right? Everybody want to find the next Tyreek Hill. Everybody wants to find the next 4-3 slot receiver that can get open deep. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I don't think that's what you're saying either. The point is that that's not something that will come around for the next decade, maybe. You know what I'm saying? That pairing. Was shocked to see it go so fast. I think the money was the reason, but bro, you are right. And I just think that like I don't think that's sustainable for 15 other teams,
Yeah, right. I think like as this league continues to propel forward into that way, the way that we're building a team is going to be completely counterculture. So there's not going to be that many teams like that are really physically able.
AFC South will be one of the few that resemble that moving forward, which is why we'll dominate as far as like wins and losses outside of the conference. And I think like, if I remember correctly, I think the 49ers will continue to have a good run game. I think they're more of a zone, if I remember correctly.
They run everything.
But I think they're more of a zone, right? And then I think New England was one that was also kind of more like power heavy, but definitely runs a little bit more everything. So I could probably count less than 10 teams in the league that, that's saying a lot, maybe less than 7 or 8 that will be willing to kind of stick to the run more often than not as their identity, And
you got to look at the teams that have sustained success the most. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of their staples, even Rob Roethlisberger was running the ball, which is why they prioritized the Najee Harris in the draft last year, because they needed a bell cow back after Le'Veon Bell left, and they went through those few years where they really didn't have a
Connor resembled that. He was a power back even then when he was there, and it worked for them. He had a 1,000-yard season there, so.
Right, and you look at the Steelers, you look at the Patriots, they're always able to run the ball. They never have any lapses.
Hey, hell, even the Ravens' recent success when they went to the playoffs the first time was based off of, Lamar can run. We know that. He was their zone runner, essentially. They had 2 running backs that would just go up the middle and dog boys, you know what I'm saying? So, and tight ends that would do it.
Yeah. They were tight end, run heavy, and every year, Baltimore is in the conversation in the playoffs. Even before Lamar, they were able to run the ball heavy.
Bro, it's so many fucking like signs of it. I'm sorry, AD, to cut you off, bro. The Browns last year for the first 8 games were power run. They actually start losing games because they got away from the power run and started thinking to get flashy with Baker. I guess they wanted to show his value, I guess. But
and if Davis Mills can prove to be like the guy, who we all saw flashes of, especially late in the season, if you pair a quarterback like that can think the game through with and keep him at third and manageable throughout the game, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat, and then by the end of the game, you know what I'm saying, the other team is slowing down, and you just slowly see them break and give up. You know what I mean?
Bro, yeah. You put Davis Mills on the Titans.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He's like, I mean, the floor is Tannehill. Like I always say, the floor is Tannehill.